It's not what I wear, it's how I rock that. If I can buy that twice, I'll cut that. Sweet 110, spot that, chop that. Tryna lock me, I have to tell her it's not that.
It's Madden NFL 24 on
And off we go from Denver. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers. Because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here caught by Mims. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's second down. Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And one of the key numbers that I look at after every game, total yards allowed. They held them under 200 yards of total offense. Just couldn't sustain much of anything against them. Great job showing them different looks and then attacking.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
They'll run it for the first time with Williams. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The numbers on the ground for Williams a week ago. 17 carries, 74 yards, and a touchdown.
When a winning streak stretches this far, you start to wonder if a team is truly unstoppable. And here's a guy who's been very much the legs that have helped drive this team to wins week after week. And even when teams have keyed on him and tried to slow him down, he's still gotten the job done enough to avoid a loss. Talking with him in pregame, though, he thinks that this week could be his biggest week yet.
Here's 3rd and 6. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 36. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Now Williams running left. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
On 2nd down, Williams. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. To throw is Wilson. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So 4th down, Wilson goes to the sidelines, and on comes Jason Myers for the field goal try. And the 10-year vet knocks it toward the goalpost. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-0. No touchdown there, but if that first drive was any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses that have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. The numbers for him from a week ago: 8 carries, 51 yards.
It's a pretty mediocre week for him on the ground. Certainly a boon to his offense if he can get a little more output on his touches this week. He should get some more early carries as his team tries to get him into a rhythm.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. That is incomplete. He was trying to get it to A.J. Brown that time, and now it's third down. If you look at this Bronco defense, they've been a very good unit against the pass, defending at 5th best in the league.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because, guess what? They're facing the #1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
On the sneak, it's Hurts. And boy, that's going to be close. He didn't get much at all there, but he got the first. Looked like they might have held him defensively, but the referee signals it will be a first down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. The Eagles at 11-2 now. And they come in on the heels of yet another victory. That ran their win streak, Charles, up to 7 now.
And I think that last win, that established them and stamped them, to me, as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with extreme confidence, and you need that in order to go all the way.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 41-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
They go play action with Hurts, eluding the pressure right. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Play action. Here's Hurts. And that's going to be caught downfield by Brown. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Give him 32 on the play.
And you'll find some version of this play in just about every playbook in the NFL. It's an X-post cross. So on play action, you let the X receiver get downfield and start working right to left across the formation. What a beautiful throw. And it all comes together for big yardage.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Hurts. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points in the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer. But he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
They'll look to to throw on 3rd and goal. Rolling to his right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Good work by that Bronco defense, and it leads to a 4th down. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the left half, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Go a little tennis on me.
I know you like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back out, and they get a backhand. What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like that.
Really good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the
a
whole
little
thing.
bit.
I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Sidney Brown with it. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick-6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
The extra point hitting the right upright, but it caroms home, and the lead is now 10-3.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick-6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick-6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Not only an explosive play, but an explosive run. I mean, broken tackles along the way to pick up that yardage.
The way things kept churning for him, feet were moving, the legs were driving. Looks like someone who spent his off-season working on hill work, running through sand, all the things that you want to build up those leg muscles. Well, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Throwing is Wilson. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Hurts sets up to throw it. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. He'll buy some time right. Wide open is Watkins. He's got it. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That's good for 28 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down.
Touchdown, Eagles! Dallas Goedert, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Eagles offense staying out there. Of course, Hurts always a threat to run. They'll go for 2. They'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. So they wait for the 2. They don't get it.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us. Because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Here's Wilson to throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. And taken right at the 35. Escapes the defender. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. And that is incomplete.
Got an open man that time. They end up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. 2nd down. Here's Jalen Hurts. They'll roll him out right. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A.J. Brown as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles would extend their lead here just before halftime. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Wilson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why they look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Results in a 4th down.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. That is caught, and he is going to have a Broncos first down, and he'll have it by plenty as it turns out to be a big gainer there on 4th down. Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the third quarter. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot. But nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs. So a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know, a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, You know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right, in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
Third quarter starts with a run from Swift. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. On play action, they'll throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. A big play there for Philly. 41 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And this one is no good. He missed it.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 20-yard line. He'll hand this to Williams to start things out. And some room to work. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 59 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Those are the types of runs they told us they want to see more of. Look, they'd love the 60 to 70-yard runs, but those 10 to 20-yarders, they can help you win a ball game.
And that means everyone's invested because you know the big guys up front, that's what they do. They try and move people. But when you get your perimeter guys involved downfield, that means that they care about the running game, and they know it helps their team.
From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. Now it's Wilson. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. Gets around him. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Holding offense.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdowns to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a 1st down.
So no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. They go play action now. Wilson. A quick throw there is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. To throw is Wilson. And that is incomplete. 4th down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage. So 4th down, Wilson goes to the sidelines, and on comes Jason Myers for the field goal try. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. Myers' kick is good, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Eagles offense and A.J. Brown headed back out there.
Good day for him so far here in the third quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards. But, hey, it's the third quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp.
They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time.
Welcome back now to Denver.
It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead. But I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
31 yards. First down, Eagles.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts.
Sliding out of the pocket.
And that one into the hands of Brown downfield.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Call that a very strong gain of 24. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay.
And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. A great play there. A beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game.
And the Eagles add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Eagles offense staying out there. Of course, Hurts always a threat to run. They'll go for 2. They'll try to run with Swift.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
You know, sometimes the guy on the defensive side of the ball, he just has a good feeling or a good read, and he unleashed his defense on that one. Boy, they stopped them in a big way.
Yeah, I hate to be cliche, but sometimes we overanalyze. They just have more want. Looked like they had more want right there.
More want and more people to the ball.
Denver's offense ready to go again. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
At the 33-yard line.
Now it's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. He'll wind up getting just a yard. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Now Wilson.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
You know, whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. 2nd and 9.
We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Throwing again here, Wilson. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down.
He's into space past the 25. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's another Broncos first down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And he's got it. Touchdown.
Marvin Mims.
A 22-yard touchdown grab.
And the Broncos are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there, because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side.
And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10.
A big play there for Philly. 45 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. That one looks like he'll throw here. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on 1st and goal, and great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
Rolling to his right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield, because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And that is no good. And this will stay a 2-score game at 16. Now this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
Certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
Now Wilson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Well, we knew this was going to be a tall order anyway, down 2 scores with this little time remaining, but that interception puts an end to any hopes that they had.
All right, partner, work with me here because obviously scoring a touchdown, getting the onside kick, then going down, scoring again, well, that's asking a lot, isn't it? And that's really not a great expectation to begin with. I think they'll look back on this game and see what got them in this spot in the first place and say to themselves, we really gave this game away.
On first down, Hurts. Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Here comes 2nd down.
From the gun, it's Wilson.
At the 26-yard line.
A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
And now the focus is really clear. They need to get that first down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by James Bradbury, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Justin Simmons.
And the Broncos are going to get it back here just past the 35.
Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
And incomplete here. So that will leave them with 16 on the clock. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, it's pretty difficult to sum it up offense in a 2-minute drill when your guys have struggled to put points on the board all afternoon. There's an incompletion right there.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Wilson.
And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Well, this is getting close to a no-win situation now. They've got one final shot. They're on their end of the field, and it's 4th and long. This might require a little extra razzle-dazzle to get it done.
One last shot for Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And they say it's never easy to come into Denver to win because of the altitude. They look pretty comfortable in the altitude.
They certainly did. I'm not quite sure how they got prepared. And it's always been a big debate about what to do. I lived out there at one point. I lived in Colorado Springs. And I remember saying to someone after my second or third day there, like, this altitude thing, this is no big deal. And day 4, it hit. And it hit.